like on the low end for left tackles, NFL left tackles.
So he's the P.J. Hall of left tackles?
No, he might just be a guard.
You thought about that for a second
I
when I said that.
Because that hurt. The P.J. Hall thing hurts. I got hyped.
We all wanted him to be something.
We wanted him to be something. He was supposed to be something. Just not under the Raiders scheme. They literally ruined the one Michigan D tackle I like.
But yeah,
Number
Mario
73.
Edwards Jr. had a breakout year last year.
Don't get me started. They manage to ruin Maurice Hurst Jr.?
Why is everybody better when they leave the Raiders, though? Except for Gary Conley.
Yeah. Or he's like a toxic ex. Maybe they're like the royal family.
Well, actually, Carl Joseph got a pick. So, yeah, he probably was better.
And he won a playoff game.
Yeah, that's true.
He's 1 game away from a Super Bowl. Think about that. That's crazy. So, yeah, another corner, Greg Newsome II. Unofficially, they said he ran a 4.31, but it was changed to a 4.38. Yeah. Pro days are fun when it comes to 40s. Somebody had him as high as a 4.31. But it's kind of between him and Jace Horn. Joe Horn's son, legendary Saints receiver, but Jace Horn went to South Carolina and has like a lot of athleticism and ball skills. So he's seen as a more like upside. He's not there yet technically as a corner as far as his technique, but Newsome is considered the better corner because his technique is more pristine and he's more refined, and running a 4.38 helps you solidify that too. So, yeah, and he had a 40-inch vertical. So, Northwestern normally isn't like a huge turnout for pro days, but they did the thing. So, salute to them. Also, Wisconsin Whitewater, Quinn Mertz, I forget how to say his last name, but he's at the Senior Bowl. He's like a huge standout. He participated pretty good, in athletic drills. He's the name to look after. Wisconsin Whitewater, just remember that name. Kansas had their pro day, and even though Kansas is trash, and this will lead me into my next story. So Puka Williams, the running back who was a great player for Kansas, and then chose to sit out the year because he was homesick because of his ailing mother back home in Louisiana, and chose to sit out the rest of the season because Kansas was already terrible. He ran like a 4.38 at his pro day. Excellent numbers. Could do some good things in the right system at the next level. But good old... I mean, you can look up the pro day results. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's like 5 schools. It's just too much. But Les Miles and Kansas mutually parted ways after the whole shenanigans with, the settlement of LSU and everything came out. So Les Miles got a 1.9 settlement from Kansas, left about $8 million on the table. And the receivers coach, Emmitt Jones, is the interim head coach. The athletic director, Jeff Long, is also out. So, yeah. Kansas having to rebuild again, and Les Miles was like 3-18 in 2 years. So, Jeez. So much for him getting another job. Because, boy, I thought he was going to turn Kansas around. Boy, was I wrong. And I'm hoping the players there, don't get screwed over in that situation. Salute to Jalen Daniels, quarterback for Kansas.
USC dodged that bullet, huh?
Yep. Jalen Daniels, finally. Former Lawndale great. State champion quarterback. Hopefully things work out for him at Kansas because he looked pretty good as a freshman for Kansas, even though, they weren't too great, but they had some talent. Hopefully they get, the coaching situation settled there. And Texas states from report that there's no racial intent behind the Eyes of Texas song. I'm going to say that one more time. The University of Texas committee says there's no racist intent behind the Eyes of Texas song, which has some racist overtones and undertones. So, yeah. After last week when we said, after Caden Stearns came out and said, alumni threatened us for essentially not wanting to sing the song. Texas committee says the odds of Texas has no racist intent. Kind of like how the national anthem has no racist intent, It was like a 58-page report. That's hilarious. They did a 58-page report on a song that's been sung at Texas for like 60 years. Damn near. They said these historical facts and add complexity and richness to the story of a song that debuted in a racist setting, exceedingly common for the time. But as the preponderance of research shows, had no racist intent. The odds of Texas should not only unite us, but hold all of us accountable to our institution's core values. Yeah, when that song came out, black people weren't even allowed to play at Texas, but whatever. So, yeah, it's traditionally played before all the Longhorns games, and they're permitting the song to be played, and it was required. Actually, no, it was recommended in the report that students are not required to sing it. For a long time, they were required to sing it. And they wanted, the players, they wanted to replace the song in June. We talked about this way back then. They wanted to replace the song with something else because they didn't like that, and it just, yeah. And then there's the whole origins behind the song. During an interview with Longhorn Network, Texas President Jay Hartzell gave the following take on the song and its origins, which was Tuesday. He said, for me, the song itself doesn't have racist undertones. Does anybody want to bet that the president of Texas is a white man? Anybody want to take that bet? $100 on that bet right now. Pete, you want to take that bet?
No.
Okay, cool.
He might be a third Mexican. Just say.
A third? He's more Mexican than Ted Cruz? He actually stayed in Texas. Yeah. Ted Cruz just dipped. But yeah, so he said, but it certainly was present at different times where those undertones existed. You go back to thinking about its first performance in 1903 at a minstrel show. So a song that's not racist was sung at a minstrel show where the very existence and inherent nature of a minstrel show is racism. But it's not racist. Okay, so I can go to a Klan cross-burning rally and not be a racist. Good to know.
I don't know if he'd be welcome there, though.
That's what I'm saying. Would any of us be, though? When we just showed up?
I might have a mask on.
Yeah, like Jonah Hill
just
and
Django.
Blend in. Yeah,
just
like
blend in.
Just that's what the occasion calls. You got to wear a mask. But yeah,
it was a toga, but I don't know. I could wrap it around my face.
I mean, it's still white, so I'm pretty sure as long as it's not like a colored sheet, I'm pretty sure you're okay.
There were a couple of stains on there, though, so
just flip it inside out like a pillowcase. You'll be fine. So the dude went on to say, I mean, you can't deny that performance has the racial undertones and overtones. Yeah, because it's a fucking minstrel show. He says hateful things, But on the other hand, if you look at it hold on, what? But on the other hand, if you look at the way, to me, the song was composed, written, and designed, it was not designed for that, meaning racism. And the investigation into the odds of Texas concluded that while blackface performances of the song were a painful reality, it doesn't appear as though it was composed as a minstrel tune. It was also determined that there's no proof of the line, the odds of Texas are upon you, being something Confederate General Robert E. Lee coined. The committee recommended that incoming students be taught about the history of the song and that black musicians be permitted to create alternate versions of the song. Well, thank you, boss. Thanks, boss. I appreciate you, boss. Longhorn football has been in the midst of a downturn for over a decade. They had head coach Charlie Strong, Tom Herman. Yeah, they've been bad just forever. Yeah. Oh, and Texas hasn't won a Big 12 title since 2009. And it's 2021. So, yeah, that's all the college football news.
Oh, thank God.
I just want people to really think about what the fuck I just read. Like, he said, yeah, it was created.
Think about that
and
20
performed
minutes of life.
at a minstrel show. We went from Bitcoin mining and FTC and all that shit to like people saying a song created at a minstrel show by racists who did minstrel shows isn't racist. Okay. This is why I hate Texas, and I didn't feel bad for the flood. Oh my God. He really said those things. He went on an interview and said that shit, bro. He said those things in an interview to people. And I just don't understand. Like, wow. Thank God. Oh my God. I'm glad this report didn't come out during Black History Month. Holy shit. That was, wow. Oh, you know what? You know what? You know what I'm ready for right now?
A shake?
That too, because I got paid. I'm
touchdown or turnover?
First off,
This podcast.
and yes, I am.
All right, let's make this a speed round. Raiders trade right tackle Trent Brown to the Patriots for a fifth round pick. Touchdown or turnover?
Turnover. Because you paid. He was the highest paid offensive lineman of all time,
It's a touchdown for
contract.
the Patriots.
and he got a fifth. They got a fifth round pick and sent him a seventh round pick.
Yeah.
You fucking stupid. How do you people? Oh my goodness. You made him the highest paid tackle in football.
We'll see, man. I think Brandon Parker, he looked good for like 2 games, and
Don't
then he
talk to
looked
me
like
about Brandon Parker.
Parker again.
Don't talk to me about Brandon Parker.
He looked good for 2 games, and then that Atlanta game, he just dog shit all over
Brandon
himself.
Parker is why guys say HBCU prospects can't make it.
But he's developing. He's gotten a lot better from 2 years ago.
I wish you could see the look on my face, Eric. I really wish you could.
I'm not saying he's going to be Trent Brown, but I'm just saying.
I thought the eyes of Texas
been in
report
line there.
pissed me off, and this is the first time I read it, which was just now. Like that, this has pissed me off. This pisses me off more. Trying to justify Brandon Parker. That's a turnover.
What do you mean justify Brandon Parker? I'm not justifying Brandon Parker. The fact is he's gotten better. I'm not saying he's going to be Trent Brown. I'm saying he's gotten better.
I'm just saying.
Let's see what he looks like after another season, bro. Like, he was a raw-ass player. It's not his fault a team took him in the fucking 3rd round.
The first pick of the 3rd round was Fred Warner.
Nobody
Fred Warner was still on the board.
Nobody told them to take him there. That was the Raiders' fault. That's not his fault. He's doing his part by getting better.
Yeah, which leads me to the
By
second
getting
thing.
better.
What you about to say next?
Don't shit on fucking HBCU players if you want to be all over here talking about draft HBCU players.
No, but I'm saying he's going to get a bad rep because he's not a starter yet.
But he started games. I'm telling you,
and the Raiders are terrible.
Good.
When you're a good player who goes to a
good.
bad team, people start to think you suck after a while.
He's not a good player. The Raiders on a bad team.
The Raiders aren't a bad team?
He's a solid player on a bad team.
But that's what I'm saying.
On a mediocre team.
If you're on a mediocre team long enough, eventually teams are going to say you're bad because you're not good. So eventually he's going to get the stench of John Gruden and Mike Mayock's decision making. Like, you suffer under poor leadership.
This is the problem right here. This is the problem right here.
The Raiders?
No, you're the problem because you're just focused on what he can't do, and I'm telling you,
no,
what
I know
he can
can
do.
play, but I'm saying
I'm telling you, he can play. He needs to be put in the right situation,
which
and
his coaches aren't doing.
Which I'm telling you, they did for 2 games, and then he just got exposed versus Atlanta, and that was it for the season.
Yeah,
he never recovered. His confidence never came back.
I'm not arguing.
But
that.
now he has another year, so let's see what he looks like after another year.
And I agree.
I'm not saying he's going to be the starter or should be. I'm just saying he can at least challenge for the starting position.
I agree, but can we agree?
Respectively,
can we agree disrespectfully that the Raiders have made terrible fucking decisions?
Obviously, and
it's year 4.
It's nothing
Gruden.
new. I've been talking about this every offseason.
It's year 4. How many players?
I've been telling people they're going to cut all these players for so long. I don't know why people are all surprised.
How many
and tweeting out fucking stats? Oh,
think pieces
since whenever Mayock and Gruden have spent this amount of money, and these players are all